For more on this, let's bring in Ryan Mauro. He's a national security analyst with the Clarion project. Ryan, thanks for being with us. And Ryan, let's get straight to this, because even with the European countries supporting staying in the deal, the reality is that European companies don't want to risk business with the US, and they don't want those secondary sanctions. And the US has in fact sent teams of policy experts to 13 countries in Europe and Asia to explain the risks of working with Iran. So really, does this tour by President Rouhani have much of an impact?
Well, he's going to be offering the Europeans the best deals that they can possibly ever dream of in terms of foreign business. And the reason he's doing that is because it's about more than saving the nuclear deal at this point. Rouhani and the regime are trying to save their lives. They're trying to save the regime itself now. When you have Iranians protesting because they don't have access to enough water, then the regime is in a very potentially fatal position right now. And so they need to give some type of news to their people to say, trust us, news is going to get better because the Europeans are going to come in and fix everything and modernize the country. This is really a gasp for air on the part of the Iranian regime, as well as an attempt to try to strong-arm Trump using Europe.
Yeah, unlikely that European companies will risk those sanctions in any event. Ryan, you mentioned those protests, and they have been flaring up across the country with the weak economy and that severe drought. And Prime Minister Netanyahu says that this is proof that the sanctions are in fact working. Is part of the bigger strategy here to foment regime change?
The official policy of the United States right now is not in favor of regime change. Now, what they say behind closed doors might be something else, because Pompeo, the Secretary of State, Bolton, all the top guys around Trump have advocated for a long time regime change in Iran by supporting the Iranian people, not an occupation or military invasion. Trump is very different from them because he really does seem to have this genuine rejection of any policy involving undermining foreign regimes. I would imagine there's a bit of a debate going on in the administration right now. But if the Trump administration does succeed in cutting off, even to a large degree, Iranian oil sales, then regime change could very well be what you get, regardless of whether that's the official policy of the United States. And so on November 4th, if the U.S. really sticks to its word and says anyone doing oil business with the Iranian regime is going to get sanctioned, if we stick to that, then on November 4th, I'm going to be partying like it's my 21st birthday, because it's going to be the worst days for the Iranian regime that they have faced yet.
Well, to your point about the official Trump administration policy and regime change, interesting that there was this big Free Iran gathering in Paris over the weekend, thousands there, and amongst those speaking, Trump's personal lawyer and ally, former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani. He was at that protest. What do you make of that?
It's just another indication that everyone around Trump has been advocating, supporting not just that specific Iranian opposition group, but the Iranian opposition as a whole. I'm not aware that we have a program to do so or any type of infrastructure to make it happen, because that's been talked about for a long time and there hasn't been any real resources or movement put into it. But nonetheless, it seems that the administration officials around Trump understand that the most anti-war, pro-peace position the U.S. can possibly have that's actually durable is supporting the Iranian people in undermining and overthrowing the Iranian regime. By the way, in the Arab majority province of Iran, that's where about 90% of their oil is right now, and they are in an uproar. And about 80 to 90% of the Iranian budget comes from oil sales. So that gives you an idea of just how precarious of a situation the Iranian regime is. And when they go so far as they have to try to bomb an opposition gathering in Europe, that's a desperate measure. They're scared.
Allegedly. All right, Ryan, thank you so
Allegedly.
much. Appreciate that. Ryan Mauro, thanks for your time as always.
Thank you.